I first of all wanted to thank everybody for joining me today on our monthly Ignite webinar that we have. These webinars are aimed to really tell you more about Ignite and sponsored product ads than you normally do see within Ignite or within some other training material that we've done before. I first of all want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. If you could just comment on the right-hand side and just say, hey, awesome, sounds great. That'd be great and wonderful. Awesome. Looks like we already got some people saying, hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful day. Glad you could make it, like I said earlier. Today, we're going to be discussing one of the most important things that I think that really goes along with sponsored product ads, and that's going to be finding the right keywords to use in your sponsored product campaigns. You can always, run like an auto-targeted campaign or something like that and just hope for the best, but that doesn't give you the best approach because you're kind of shooting in the dark. You're really just hoping that those campaigns are going to work and they're going to provide the results that you want. And that's not necessarily the case because you really do want to have as many powerful keywords as you can find in your campaigns while making sure that you're not wasting money on those keywords that are not driving the results you're looking for. So first, I'm going to be going through Ignite and showing you where Ignite will actually provide those keywords for you and will actually offer you keyword suggestions. And then also we'll show you how you can really dive into your campaigns to find other search terms that you can actually promote up to keywords as well. This is the approach that I think is one of the most beneficial to people doing sponsored product ads, because when you're looking inside of an auto-targeted campaign, let's say, you can see all the search terms that have led to clicks and then also conversions as well. And this is raw data. This is actually data that you can use to say, this search term worked and it provided me the conversion that I'm looking for. And this is where I'm really going to spend most of the time today, is diving into those search term reports. And then actually towards the end, I'm going to touch on another tool that we offer called Scope. And Scope is something that I use pretty much on a daily basis. Scope is actually a Chrome extension plugin that allows you to see what keywords are driving traffic to products on Amazon. And Ignite and Scope really go hand in hand. They really do help each other out because they help you find those successful keywords that you can then add to your sponsored product campaigns. All right, cool. So to begin with, let's go ahead and we're looking at Ignite right now. This is the Ignite home screen. This is a demo account. So some of the features that I'll be showing today actually won't show all the way through. And that is just because this is a demo account with no actual real attachment to an Amazon account. So to begin with, we are going to jump into an auto-targeted campaign. Actually, we'll go to a manual targeted campaign first. And to do that, I'm just going to open up one of my Ignite managed groups right here. This is for the all-powerful apple slicer that we always talk about. And inside of an Ignite managed group, you can group as many campaigns together as you would like to. Most of the time, we do suggest having one auto campaign and one manual targeted campaign running simultaneously for the same product. And this helps you kind of get both types of traffic. It'll give you the manual traffic of you actually choosing what keywords you want to drive traffic to. And then also the auto-targeted campaign will kind of allow Amazon to do some of that work for you. And that auto-targeted campaign will also get you some unique placements that manual targeted campaigns cannot give you. So I do want to specify that I am always a fan of having one of each running for each product. This will give you benefits of both of them, but they actually work really well together. So we're going to just scroll down to the bottom, and at the bottom of your Ignite Manager group, you're going to see your associated campaigns. And as you can see, we have both a manual and an auto-targeted campaign. Now, I'll go ahead and click on the name of the manual campaign that we have right here. And one thing I'm not going to actually demonstrate today, but I do want to tell you, is that during the creation of a manual targeted campaign inside of Ignite, you will actually get to a step where Ignite goes ahead and it will offer you some keyword suggestions. During the process, after you've specified your ad groups, you've specified which products you want to advertise, you'll actually come to a page that shows suggested keywords. And to the right of these keywords, you can actually, add these, it'll show like the relevancy of the keywords, how relevant Ignite thinks they are to your product, and whether you should use them or not. And you can also from here choose to add them as a broad match, a phrase match, or an exact match keyword from here. So already during the creation of a new campaign inside of Ignite, you will have suggested keywords. So there we go. Easiest step already. Ignite's going to help you during the creation of a brand new campaign to tell you what keywords you should go after. Now, of course, this doesn't really help people out that have campaigns that have been running for a long time and they didn't make those inside of Ignite. And that is completely fine. Let me repeat, that is fine. You can still get access to these keywords at any time. And to do that, you just want to open up those manual campaigns. You can just go into any of the manual campaigns that you have, and you want to go to the Add Keywords tab right here. And on the Add Keywords tab, of course, you have a place where you can type in those keywords manually that you want to go after. You can specify which ad group they're going to go into and also which match type they're going to be. But to the right of this, you're going to see this button right here that says Suggest Keywords. This is going to be the exact same page that you see during the creation of an Ignite campaign. So you can just click this button. Unfortunately, I will go ahead and say this does not work in this test account because it is just, kind of fake data. But once you click this button, it is going to provide you with suggested keywords from Ignite, and it will show you the relevancy of them. It'll tell you if they're high, medium, or low, and you can actually go after all the ones that you think will drive a lot of traffic to your campaign. And from this page as well, you can choose to move these over into a broad match, a phrase match, or an exact match keyword right there from this page. So there we go. That's step 2 to where you can actually find those powerful keywords that you want to use in your campaigns. So already we have it during the creation process in Ignite. You're going to have keywords suggested. You can also revisit this page at any time by going to the Add Keywords tab and then selecting Suggest Keywords. But then you'll also notice right beneath it where it says Add Keywords from a competitive ASIN. This is hands down one of my favorite resources that Ignite offers when it comes to being competitive. Because we always want to know what other brands are doing, what other products are doing on Amazon, and how they're getting their traffic. And this is really essential to building up a successful sponsored product campaign. So from this page, what you can do is you can just type in or copy and paste a competitive ASIN. This can be someone that you're currently, bidding against, or just another product that you see on Amazon. It can also be something that's similar to your product. Like if you're coming to Amazon with a brand new product and you don't know what keywords you want to go after, you can simply put in a similar ASIN into this field and it will provide you those suggested keywords, just like how it does right up here. It's going to provide you those suggested keywords for the ASIN that you place inside of this box. Now, a lot of times, people, like I said, like they may have a brand new product or they may be doing a bundle product or something like that, and they don't know what type of keywords to go after. That's really where you want to pull those similar or competitive ASINs of a product that's somewhat like your product, or even one that is a really big competitor on Amazon. By using this, you can see what type of keywords are driving traffic to that product and will provide you some type of attraction if you use those inside of your own campaign. So these are 3 ways we just discussed in order to find successful keywords to use in your sponsored product ads. I'm going to review them every time so you understand this. The first one is when you're creating a campaign, Ignite will actually suggest keywords for you. You can revisit this tab at any time to have those suggested keywords come back up again. And you can also put in a similar or competitive ASIN that's something similar or actually a competitor to your product inside this box, and you can say suggest keywords. So this is all through a manual targeted campaign. But another resource that I really love using is auto-targeted campaigns, because auto-targeted campaigns have a lot of data. Within an auto-targeted campaign, I'm actually going to go to one really fast right here, open back up this Ignite Manage group. Inside of an auto-targeted campaign, Amazon is kind of doing the work for you. They're analyzing your listing. They're really trying to decipher exactly what your product is and what type of searches are going to lead to conversions for your product. So it's really Amazon doing most of the work for you. So to kind of, go deeper into this, I want to show you exactly how this information is going to help you out. So we're going to open up an auto-targeted campaign. And once we open this up, you're going to see, you don't see a list of keywords because there really are no keywords in an auto-targeted campaign. However, if you click right here where it says targeting auto, or you open up the user search term report, this will show you all the search terms that led to impressions and traffic on this particular campaign. So this gives you a really good overview of exactly what people are searching that's leading to traffic for your listing. And once again, this is all really determined by Amazon. Amazon actually, has some type of algorithm that determines what your product is by the information on your listing. And they drive traffic to the type of terms that they think will provide conversions for you. So once again, it's Amazon kind of doing most of the work for you. So as you're going through this, you can see all the different search terms that are, driving that traffic inside this auto-targeted campaign. Better yet, you can go over and you can see all the clicks and which specific search terms they're related to. Then from there, you can also see the conversions. So this is once again a gold mine of information. Before, you are just getting suggested keywords. There's no real data tied to those. It is something that is actually kind of determined by Ignite. We have a system that really judges the relevancy for you and determines how much traffic will be driven, for the specific keywords. In here, inside this auto-targeted campaign, we can see exactly how much traffic was driven by this search term, how many clicks it had, and how many conversions it had. So this is a gold mine of information. And as you're going through, if you see one of these search terms that's doing extremely well, and it is something that you want to continue to go after in a more, regulated way, what you can do is you can actually promote this search term from this auto-targeted campaign into a keyword for your manual targeted campaign. I'm going to say that again. So you're going to take a search term. This is just, a term that has driven a lot of traffic to your listing, and you're going to start bidding on that search term individually as a keyword. By changing it over from just a particular search term to a keyword, you have more control over that bid, and you can actually get, a different type of placement as well, being inside of a manual targeted campaign. So you can actually do all of this inside of Ignite. What you do whenever you're looking at your search terms, you can see an actions button to the left-hand side of all these search terms that you see. At any time, you can click on this, and you can go down to create into a new keyword. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to choose which campaign you want this, search term to become a keyword in. And you can actually also set it as a negative in that campaign that you're pulling it from. That way you're not bidding on it in two places. So this is wonderful because all right here, I don't have to leave this page, go back to another campaign, add it there, set it as a negative here. I can just do all this right here. I can just create into a new keyword. So this is another way that you can find those very successful search terms that are leading to that traffic that you want, and you can promote those into their own keywords inside of a manual targeted campaign. Something else on the flip side of that, though, is also if you're looking through these search terms inside this auto-targeted campaign and you see one that just makes no sense at all, like it looks like, actually Throwing Axe is one of those here. Throwing Axe had a lot of clicks and no conversions. It doesn't make any sense to really be going after that. So you can once again click actions, and you can get on to set as a negative exact or negative phrase keyword. The ones that are crossed through have already been made as negatives. That's actually why they're crossed through. But this is wonderful once again because you don't have to go through this data and then go back to a separate page to add it as a negative, or go back to a separate page to add it as its own keyword. So this way I'm talking about right now is really diving into your auto-targeted campaign to find the successful terms and making them their own keywords. So this is another way that you can find those very powerful keywords that you want to go after, and you have that data to back it up. Now, something else to actually notice that some of you may have already actually pointed out during this little run inside this auto-targeted campaign is there are ASINs inside of here. Do not disregard these ASINs. These ASINs are, once again, gold mines of information, because these ASINs are actually showing up in here because this product is more than likely being advertised off of Amazon. And let's just say it's on a deal site or something. And if I'm a shopper and I go to that deal site and I click on that product, I am taken directly to that product listing on Amazon. I didn't search for anything on Amazon. There were no search terms used at all. It just takes me directly to that listing on Amazon. Now, Amazon still has ads running on every listing, no matter if there were any search terms searched at all on Amazon. So on any listing, you are going to notice that there's an area that says sponsored product items related to this product. That's still going to show even if I didn't search anything on Amazon. So I go to this deal site, I click on this link, it takes me to this listing, and there's still a section that says sponsored product items related to this item. And if I click on that and I go to that sponsored product ad, Amazon still has to relate that click back to some type of search term. Now, since nothing was searched, they do just put in this ASIN. Now, you can't set these as negatives because they're still going to show up over time. It is still going to happen for that reason I just discussed. But this is still a gold mine of information, because you have all these ASINs right here, and most of the time, these are going to be competitor products. So Amazon's pretty much just giving you some of the competitor products or some of the similar items that you may want to go after. So you can copy this ASIN. You can go back to that area in that manual targeted campaign, and you can put it in there to say, suggest keywords for the similar or competitive ASIN. And right there, you're using this ASIN to find similar keywords that you want to go after. On top of that, though, I do highly recommend actually looking up these ASINs on Amazon first, because if you do that, you may see it's a product that has nothing to do with what you're currently trying to sell. I haven't actually checked this one. So this is something different, of course. Like I said, this isn't actually a real account. But if this wasn't what I wanted to go after, it has nothing to do with my product. Don't use the keyword information that you see for this product. But so you want to use these ASINs to kind of do that reverse ASIN lookup inside of Ignite to find those successful keywords that they're going after and add them to your campaign. Because if you see that this other product is getting a lot of traffic for these keywords and you're selling a similar or competitor product, you want to make sure you're kind of going after those same keywords as well. So those are the ways inside of Ignite that you can really find those successful keywords. I'm going to touch on scope in just one second. But inside of Ignite, you have, first of all, inside of the creation process of a new campaign, Ignite will suggest those new keywords for you. That's step one that you want to make sure you really take advantage of when making a new campaign. If you have an existing campaign, you will still have the tab that says add keywords, and there will be a little button that does say suggest keywords. You can click on that. That'll suggest keywords for you. And you can also use the ASIN box right there too, to look up keywords for a competitor ASIN or a similar product. And then also diving into your auto-targeted campaign to promote the successful user search terms up to keywords for another campaign. Those are the ways that I've covered so far. Now, finally, another tool that we offer is called Scope. And Scope is a wonderful tool that I use kind of, in congruency with Ignite because it helps me really research these keywords in more depth than Ignite can. As you kind of, understood before, Ignite does just suggest keywords. It doesn't show you any of the numbers or the metrics tied to them. So Scope gives me extra information on that. And I can also make it so it updates more frequently so I can get better results over time. Now, I do want to look at a product that actually does have some type of history before I use it. So I'm just going to look up the infamous Apple slicer. And Scope is a Chrome extension. So what this means is I can be browsing Amazon at any time. And I can just click down in the right-hand corner right here to pull up Scope. But I'm going to wait to pull it up till I'm actually on a listing. So let's do Amazon's choice. So you just click on a listing on Amazon. I don't have to leave Amazon to view this data. I can actually view it at the same time that I'm on Amazon, which is wonderful because I'll even use this when I'm actually just shopping for myself. I'll be honest, I'm one of those guys. Because this is also used as a product research tool too, because you can really see exactly what type of traffic a product has before you decide if you want to get into that category or be a competitor product to this item that you're looking at right now. Now, at any time, you just go down to the bottom and you click Show Scope. And this is going to pull up a lot of information that you can use to really develop out your campaign that you're running. Because it's going to show you all the keywords that are actually driving some type of traffic to this product on Amazon. And over to the right of it, you're going to see more information about it. You'll be able to see its position. And what this is actually whenever somebody searches Apple Core, that this is going to show up in position 2. Now, of course, it was a day ago. As everybody knows, this data can change all the time. So keep that in mind. Then you're also going to see a score. The score is from, I believe it's 1 to 100 or 0 to 100. The higher that it gets, the higher the likelihood it is to drive traffic to your product or this product that you're viewing. So you want to have a lower position. Number 1 is the best, showing up in position number 1. And you want to have a higher score. The higher the score, it's just like it's going to drive more traffic and it has a higher likelihood to actually lead to a sell. And then next, you're going to see the search volume. This is an estimate. This is about how many searches you see for this item in the past 30 days. The average cost per click. This is just going to be another estimate as well to kind of give you some type of idea about how competitive it is for that particular keyword. Of course, the higher the bid, the more competitive it is. And this just so happens to be just one that is kind of competitive because there's a lot of people that are bidding on the same type of keyword. The more people bidding on a keyword, the higher the bid normally will be. And then also the estimated sales as well. There's also just is another estimate that gives you a better idea about which one of these keywords is actually providing sales, not just searches, but also sales too. So you take all this data into, you take it all in stride and look at it all together. Look at the position, the score, the search volume, the average cost per click, and also the estimated sales to see exactly which keywords you want to go after. You also want to make sure that these are keywords that do pertain to your product. So as we're looking on here, we can see there's quite a bit of keywords. There's actually, 216? It's a gold mine of information once again. And I can sort this information as well. I'm actually sorting it by score right now because I want to see the ones that have a higher score. And this is just going to be all these other keywords that you may want to go after. And this is just going to be another place to find those successful keywords that you can add to your campaign in order to drive more traffic to your listing. And of course, if you see one that doesn't, really pertain to your product, don't worry about it. But you can also track these keywords just by clicking these binoculars right here. And what this is going to do is it's going to update that information more often for you. So that'll make sure that you do see more of like the 5 hours ago and not like the 6 days ago anymore. You actually see more up-to-date information about the specific keyword. And you can also do the same thing with the product too. You can track the product. So this is once again another way to find those successful keywords. And you can also use this when you're first researching your product to see if it is a field that you want to go in. And also really just to get an overview whenever you're shopping on Amazon too, like I do. I use this to kind of see, exactly what its estimated revenue and estimated profit is, how many sales per month and sales per day. And even just like if I want to source it myself, I can, let's see, I'm selling for $10.99 right now. I can get it for $2. Amazon commission and estimated FBA fee, I'll still, cost about $6.84. So you can actually have this profit calculator right here. It shows I can still make $4.15 on each sale if I do decide to get this same product and source it myself, maybe a little cheaper than what they're currently sourcing it for. So this is a wonderful tool. There's also a history tab. Once you do start to track a product, you can see the price history and how it's changed over time. And you can also see the sales rank history too. This is another good way to really see exactly how this product is moving. If it is becoming more popular, you definitely want to look at their listing and find out exactly what they're doing that's causing that traffic. There is a web app as well. I won't actually go into this as much today. This isn't the main focus of the webinar, but there is a web app where you can see all the keywords that you're currently tracking as well as the products too. So you can see more information over time for those products and those keywords that you are tracking. Now, one other thing I do want to kind of touch on while I'm on Amazon, I'm actually going to close out Scope, is another old school way to actually really look at your competitors is just to go to their listing to begin with. So even without using Scope, you can just take those ASINs that you see inside your auto-targeted campaign and search for them on Amazon. From here, look at the listing. See what keywords they're using, see how their actual title is set up, see how their description is set up, their bullet points, see what kind of questions are being asked, and see exactly what's showing up in the reviews. This is actually something that my colleague Tyler talks about a lot. It's a gold mine of information. From here, I can see if there's any keywords that I want to kind of borrow from this listing, and the title, the description, or the bullet points too. But something else is if you go down to the bottom, you'll see this right here. It shows all these different types of terms that are mentioned in the reviews, and these are the ones that do show up the most. There's some other keywords you may want to go after right now. And something else too that you want to do is you want to look at the questions that are asked on this, because you may want to actually answer these, preemptively inside of your listing, and may want to put in some of these keywords that you see show up a lot inside of your sponsored product campaign. So to review on all the ways that you can actually get successful keywords, the first one is going to be creating a new campaign inside of Ignite. You will have an actual page that suggests keywords for the products that you're advertising. Next, you'll actually be able to go back to any manual campaign at any time, and there will be an Add Keywords tab. And from here, you can either just say Suggest Keywords. This will actually suggest keywords for the products that you're advertising. Or you can put in a competitive or similar ASIN inside this box and get keywords suggested for that ASIN. This can be anything on Amazon, honestly. As long as there's some type of data that it can pull from, it'll show this for you. Next, you can dive into your auto-targeted campaign. By diving into your auto-targeted campaign, you'll see all the search terms that are driving traffic, and you can really see which ones are doing well, which ones are not doing well. The ones that are doing well, promote those up to be their own keywords. You can just click Actions and say Create into a new keyword. The next page will allow you to choose which campaign you want to move it into and exactly what bid you want to have and things like that as well. And then finally, it's going to be really that research on Amazon using a tool like Scope. Once again, I love Scope. I use it all the time. You can pull this up at any time when you're on Amazon. It is going to be a Chrome extension that you can use to see the keywords that are driving traffic to this listing. And then on top of that, also just viewing the competitive listing to see what they're going after. It won't be as good as data as you see on Scope, but it will be used in combination with Scope to really get you some idea about what they're doing to drive this traffic. Now, it looks like we do have a few more minutes left right now. We'll actually go ahead and take some questions that people may have. We have just a few minutes so we can go through those. All right. So the average cost per click, guys, it is actually an estimate. It's based on the type of traffic that's coming through. This isn't something I can really speak on exactly to where it's coming from. This is something more like our developers can really touch on, but it is just an estimate. It's just used to really give you an idea about what the average cost per click may be on this based on the actual competition that's there. But you can't really know exactly what the average cost per click is going to be until you actually have a campaign up and running and you go into Ignite itself and you see a suggested bid on the manual targeted campaigns. So I'll show you that actually really fast. And this is in relation to somebody asking, let's see, is the average cost per click coming from Amazon or is Scope delivering the data based on math? And I'll show you this right here. So inside of a manual targeted campaign, you will see a suggested bid that will show up next to each of these keywords. This is going to be a little more accurate than what is showing in Scope because this actually is more or less looking at the range of bids that happen throughout a day. And there's some other math and some other information that's put into that as well to make it as accurate as possible. But this is just a suggested bid here. Just how inside of Scope it is going to be an average cost per click, this is just an estimated cost per click on each bid. It's not going to be data that you want to hold up to. It's just a good place to start to give you an idea about how competitive it is. And you'll get a better idea once you're actually going after that keyword. You'll see the suggested bid. And I don't know if this is just like actually based on Amazon's suggested bid range, like what those bids range throughout a 24-hour period or so. All right. And there's another good question. How long should you run an auto-targeted campaign to get some good keywords to research? Honestly, auto-targeted campaigns can always provide you great research. I'm a fan of constantly keeping those running as long as possible because you're going to be constantly kind of mining for that data over time. I do suggest having it up for like, a week or 2 weeks or so to really get some usable data and actually have some type of clicks and some types of conversions that can lead to some search terms that you want to promote up to being keywords. It can take longer, though. It is really dependent on how much traffic you have coming through for your category. In a more competitive category that has a lot more traffic and a lot more shoppers than a normal day, you will have more data in a shorter amount of time. But I do suggest like a week or 2 weeks or so. But honestly, whenever I am doing management myself, I do really just let one run. I may have a lower bid over time and a lower daily budget, but then that way I'm constantly learning of new terms that I can go after. And I'm also getting some sales for a very, very low cost per click a lot of times. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else. And John actually has a question that's kind of a little different. This is actually something else. So how come some of the bulk suggested keywords do not have a click box where you can do a bulk approve or bulk delay? And this is actually a really good question. So guys, inside of Ignite, you will see an area where suggestions are made. And you will see that some of them have a box next to them that you can select, and you can do bulk approve or bulk delay. With the ones that do say create an exact match keyword for a specific term or a keyword, these are not going to allow you to do a bulk approve, bulk delay, or bulk reject, simply because once you click approve, it takes you to a next step. It takes you to this page where you have to choose what campaign and ad group you want to go into, what match type you want it to be. You want to approve that bid that it has in there. And there's some other options as well that you want to select here. So that's why whenever you see a suggestion that says, create an exact match keyword or something, it won't let you do a bulk approval, delay, or reject on it. You have to do those at an individual basis. And that is something we may change in the future, but this is just to make sure that it goes to the right place that you want it to go to. And let's see. Yeah, so somebody asked if there'll be a replay on YouTube. Everybody that came here today will be receiving a replay. I don't know if we're actually going to have it on YouTube. Not sure about that. But if you are in here today, you should be receiving a replay so you can go back and look through this data. I know it was a huge data dump. This is just a lot of stuff that I want to cover because there's a lot of great ways to find those successful keywords. And one other thing I do want to point out is that we are currently doing management of sponsored product ads ourselves. We do have a developed team that I'm actually included on where we can manage your sponsored product ads for you. And this is something that we're going to be, expanding in the future. And it's actually starting this month. We're growing out our team and getting more people onto it. So we are currently accepting people to join. The best way to get in touch with me about setting up a meeting to discuss this further will be to email support@sellerlabs.com. You can just email them and say that you were on the webinar with Edward and you want to discuss having my team actually manage your sponsored product ads for you. And we can kind of go from there. We can set up a meeting, get a better feel for what you want to do and what you really want to succeed with your sponsored product ads. And then I can follow up with you to really just learn more about your products as well. And one more question that somebody asked: any news on when Scope is coming to other marketplaces? There is not any news on that yet. It has kind of been on the roadmap for a while, but that's all I can really say. Not exactly sure when it will be coming to anything else. But I believe that's just something I can't really speak more on, unfortunately. And one more. This is the final one. Tony said, is AMS going away? I don't believe AMS is going away. It still offers something that, sponsored product ads cannot really do right now, and that is product display ads. That is something that a lot of people are still trending over towards AMS to get that feature. Haven't heard anything about that. I haven't heard of product display ads coming through sponsored product ads. So I haven't heard anything myself. I don't think it's going to happen right now. That is something, just kind of, keep your ears to the ground with all the new updates with Amazon. You can also check our blog anytime. Whenever new updates do come out, we try to cover them as soon as possible so everybody knows what's going on just as much as we do. But that is all the time that we have today, guys. I do want to thank everybody for being so attentive and actually, asking these great questions. If you need anything else, please let us know. Once again, it's support@sellerlabs.com. You can actually see that over there in the chat. And if you need anything else, just let us know. And besides that, everybody have a wonderful day. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.